Sagittarius, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And this is your monthly forecast for May 2015. Sagittarians, the big news this month is that Mercury is going retrograde, the planet that rules communication, transportation and technology. And he is going retrograde from 18th of May till about 8th of June. And it's not a great time to be buying any big ticket item, to be watching your communication, both written as well as spoken. And most importantly for you Sagittarians, Mercury retrograde is going to be affecting your relationships. Now we'll speak about that later more in detail. We begin the month with a full moon in Scorpio that's happening on the 3rd of May, and it's transiting a part of your chart that has to do with behind the scenes. It has to do with addictions, it has to do with patterns, it has to do with spirituality and higher mind. Now when full moon comes and highlights any part of our chart, it's a time where something has come and reached its fruition. It's a time where, you know, we can no longer hide and say that, oh, I don't want to deal with this, and you know, and there's always stuff that's happening in all our lives, right? We always, and with the painful and the difficult one, we keep putting it on a side, we keep procrastinating and saying, when the time is right and when I have enough time, I'm going to be dealing with it, and I am sure that I'll be able to deal with it peacefully. Let me not deal with things in a rush. And what happens as a result is that it just keeps snowballing. It just keeps rolling and rolling, and by the time you realize there's this huge thing in front of you and you wonder, oh God, how the hell am I ever going to be sorting with this? So for you, the full moon is coming and lighting. It's this behind the scenes thing. It has to do with your thought process. It has to do with your psyche, and also at times when full moon comes and transits here, it speaks that therapy will be good for you, and it's a good time to be seeking professional help. If you've been going on and on and on about stuff, not being able to let go of certain things, maybe it's a addictive pattern, maybe you are whether it is alcohol or whether it is drugs, maybe you are addicted onto certain something and you're not able to let go of it. Maybe it's a time to be seeking professional help. You may be tempted to suppress your emotions and not sort of talk about it, again in the hope that this is something which is transitory and it is something that you can manage on your own. But whenever again full moon comes and shines its light on this part, it's really a time where you need to be getting out and getting some help. And it could be that you are nearing a breakdown for some of you. It could be that things just seem fine on the surface, but really something is simmering underneath. So don't ignore, for those of you who have been going through stuff, it's a time and there's been a lot of general unease. It's a time where you should get out and seek some help. Now Venus is going to be entering Cancer on the 7th of May, and then she conjuncts Uranus on the 25th. And Venus is also going to be transiting a part of your chart that has to do with intimacy. It has to do with joint finances, and you could be quite intensely attracted to people who are quite provoking, who are quite aggressive at this point of time and are quite opinionated, and you could also some people who seem like a mystery to you, and you'll be quite happy to sort of go on this adventure of trying to uncover as to who the person really is under. Now anyone who comes across as superficial is going to get dismissed at this point of time. You're really in no mood to be playing any superficial games, Sagittarians. You really, so while you're seeking excitement and adventure on one side, you're also going to be seeking authenticity at the same time. And for a lot of you, intimacy issues are going to get heightened over this time because Venus is there. So you could be feeling quite loving, you could be wanting to make your relationship more closer, you could be feeling quite physically quite closer to your person. Maybe there's a great sexual chemistry that is there. Maybe there's something that you could be feeling quite intimate with your partner, and you could be feeling quite happy about it. This is also a time wherein that you could be feeling quite happy sharing your resources with your partner. You could be either be buying gifts, or you could be generally be thinking about a future together. So there's a lot of focus on we, on our money, so even if you're not married, even if you're in a committed relationship, you're going to be thinking about enhancing your partner's income. You're going to be thinking about how it is that you can sort of add to the kitty and make the financial situation look better for your partner. And this aspect also at times talks about obsession. So try not to get too obsessed with your partner and be in that mode that you're just not literally stalking them, but all you're doing is you're thinking about them, wondering what they're doing, or what is the day been like, and so on and so forth. So even if you're not literally sitting and stalking them and texting them in every 2 minutes, try not to have that obsessive energy around it, because that's one of the energies that gets transferred and translated the quickest. So don't try and freak the other person out. And this is also a time wherein some of you could be thinking about a certain obsession that you had as far as your relationship is concerned, and how different this current relationship is. And with your current relationship also, it is, though it will give you a comfort, it would never be like how it was for you earlier. Maybe that obsessive thing that you have to ensure that it does not go onto the path of obsessiveness. Now Mars is going to be transiting Gemini around the 11th, and Mars is going to be transiting your house of partnership, your marriage, and also business relationships. So try and Mars being there, try and keep ego on the side. Try not to get too opinionated or sort of give your verdict and say, oh, I know it best. And so the keywords for you are cooperation and collaboration, Sagittarians. Ensure that you are working along with team, even with your bosses. You may not be able to stand somebody at work, but guess what? It doesn't matter. You have to just, ensure that work gets done as smoothly as possible. You may even find, Sagittarians, during this time that you need somebody's help to get your work done. So really keep that ego at bay. And as soon as any differences arise, ensure that you just sort of smooth all the ruffled feathers and not to get things out of hand. Now Mercury is going retrograde around the 18th till about 8th of June. That makes it about 3 weeks. And Mercury drill, we all know. Communication, technology, transport. Try not to buy any big ticket item during this time. Be extremely careful about your written, spoken communication. Recheck your emails. Take backup of your computers. Ensure that your phones are charged. Ensure that your cars are serviced. Ensure that you're carrying all your servicing. It gets all done. Ensure that you're carrying your licensing. Ensure that if some work on your vehicle needs to get done, it has got done prior to the retrograde. And try not to buy a car during this time, Sagittarians, really. And I have a lot of you are asking me, is the sky going to fall on my head if I do that? Well, no, it won't, but you may just realize after a Mercury transit or a retrograde that there's a better offer. There's a newer version of what you just bought, and that too at a better price. So rather than or it may be that the piece that you have bought of a particular technology or car or whatever it is, that there is some glitch in it and you'll have to go back and exchange it. So that is all that a retrograde. Now Mercury is going to be retrograding your house of relationship and partnership, and there's going to be some sort of in personal relationship. There seems to be some sort of an underlying, maybe an understanding or a kind of an agreement that seems to have gotten done, as in that you will sleep on the right side of the bed and I will sleep on the left side of the bed, or you will not speak like that to my mother, or in the morning you are the one who's going to be taking the dog for a walk, or I only wake up at 8:30 a.m. Don't wake me up before that. So there could be some amount of agreements that could have got formed between two of you, and this can be in committed relationships. It can also be with people that you're going steady, and it could be that it can be that they have not really been specified, but there's just like an unspoken agreement that has happened, just by body language, that you have sort of transmitted it to your partner. And it's a time where old issues that you may think that you have forgotten regarding relationships may come to surface. So you may have to bite your tongue off, maybe about your certain ex-boyfriend suddenly cropping up, or your girlfriend cropping up, and you saying, oh damn, why did I say that? So be extremely careful about old issues cropping up at this time. Stay sensitive, try not to say stuff that is hurtful. It is also a time wherein you could be thinking about a past relationship, and which was very, very dear to you, and you could be thinking, and maybe there's just a sense of nostalgia, a little bit of sadness. It's not a great time, Sagittarians, during a retrograde to be getting married. You may regret it. You may sort of look back, regret it in the sense you may just feel that, not a good decision made, I shouldn't have done it at this time, or even sign a fresh contract during this time. So you need to be sort of waiting till the retrograde gets over before you plunge into it. Let Mercury go direct. The keywords for you Sagittarians this month are renegotiate, refine and reunite. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I'll see you again next month, and thank you so much for watching.